The company I entered as a fresh graduate was one of the so-called black corporations. I went home on the last train every day, slept, and headed back to work. Rinse and repeat. The only thing our manager was good at was scolding us for not doing enough. Yet that old man who only shouted meaningless and unhelpful things at us all the time, he was given a lot better treatment than me. The smart ones cut out as soon as they could. The idiots like me went along with the flow, barely able to keep our heads above water. Because I couldn't get enough sleep or eat properly, I soon had sunken cheeks and a clearly visible rib cage. Despite all this, it wasn't my body that gave out first. It was my mind.
Yes, that's what you have.
When it finally got bad enough that I had no choice but to go to the doctors, I found out what I had. It was a mental illness that I often heard about on TV, something that people like idols and other celebrities get that lead to them going on hiatus or quitting entirely.
You should take a break from work. I actually want to tell you to quit, but the stress of not having a stable salary might worsen your symptoms. For now, take the medicine and see how things go.
I'd planned to only take 1 month off, but I never went back. To the very end, all I remember of the job was my boss yelling at me. Half a year after, I quit. I was now on a lower dose of meds, and proper sleep and nutrition had done wonders for my body. Finally able to live life somewhat like a normal person, I was there for a job interview. For a pretty well-known company in the industry, too. Compared to my previous company, it was as alike as chalk and cheese. I was still in shock that I'd made it to the final interview.
Kenichi Sakamoto,
Yes?
you can go in now.
Thank you. And right there, at the location of the final interview for my new job, that was where we were reunited. Huh?
Is there something wrong?
No, not at all.
Great. Please, sit down then.
Right. I was at a loss for words. I mean, it's not every day you meet your high school ex. Shioriko Kunimi was my classmate in high school. Even back then, she was both beautiful and smart. We dated for a while. It really was just for a while, though. In hindsight, romantic relationships that last from high school all the way to adulthood are the exception and not the norm. In short, we were just one couple of many who didn't make it.
I think we should break up.
I think you're right. I can't remember the reason why we broke up anymore. I think it was some kind of petty quarrel.
Bye then.
Yeah. This is how fragile human relationships are. After the interview, she called out to me.
Hey, Kenichi.
Hi, Shioriko.
A long time no see.
Is it okay for you to leave the room?
Well, yeah, you were my last interview. So, how have you been?
Well enough, I guess.
That's good. Did you get a little taller?
Maybe I did?
You didn't used to be so cocky.
And what do you mean by that?
I meant exactly what I said.
I see you haven't changed much either.
Huh? Haven't I become prettier?
No, I don't see it. She's been beautiful ever since the beginning, after all. Not that I would ever tell her that.
Huh? You're so irritating.
We used to argue just like this back then, huh?
Yeah.
I'm surprised we lasted as long as we did.
Still broke up in the end, though.
Do you remember what we were fighting about?
Not at all.
Me neither. I guess that's just how the cookie crumbles.
So what happened after we broke up?
What do you mean?
I'm asking about your love life. Do you have a girlfriend now?
I'll tell you if you tell me.
Well, I've always been popular. I'm still busy receiving confessions and being asked out till this day.
Is that so? Good for you.
So what about you?
Me?
By the look of your face, you've had no luck in love, right? Poor thing.
Not really. Don't go jumping to conclusions.
Huh?
In fact, I'm living with a girl right now.
Huh, I see.
Yeah.
What kind of person is she?
She's older than me and a real beauty. She has a pretty careless personality, but that makes her really easygoing as well.
Hmm?
Even if it's just for her, I want to find a job as quick as possible. Oh, sorry, too much information?
I don't mind.
So,
What?
I'm glad you're doing good. And I'm happy to see you too. After all, we haven't spoken to each other since we broke up.
Even if you say that, it won't affect my hiring decisions.
I don't expect it to.
Really?
Of course. See you around then.
Yeah, see you, Kenichi. Welcome home, Kenichi.
I'm back.
How was the interview?
Oh,
Was it really difficult? Well, they are a major company. You're super amazing for making it to the final interview.
Stop it! I'm not a kid anymore!
Huh? Are you sure?
Yes, I am. Also, the interview itself went well. I think the interviewers had a good impression of me.
So why did you make that weird face just now?
One of the interviewers was my ex-girlfriend.
Huh? Seriously?
Seriously, it was so awkward.
I see, but now I really hope you get hired.
Why?
I mean, she's that girl you've been hung up on for so long, isn't she?
I didn't reply. My answer lay in my silence. At a later date, I was contacted about the results of the interview. They offered me the job. My new workplace was much more comfortable than my previous one. There was no one spouting nonsense in my ear all the time, and it didn't hurt that my direct supervisor was a person I was very familiar with.
Like I said, we want you to do the documents like this with the budget included.
Oh, I see.
I'll be heading to the client's office in a while. You'll be coming too.
Roger that. People might expect me to be having a hard time working under my ex-girlfriend, but it wasn't like that at all. It's been years since the breakup, and we've all matured in our own ways.
What is it?
Nothing.
There's no such thing as nothing. If you have a question, ask them now. Or are you feeling shy because you fell in love with me all over again?
Definitely not that.
An immediate answer? Really? Even though I grew up so well.
More importantly, what's up with your hair? You chopped off quite a lot of it.
I guess summer's coming. It's hotter with long hair, you know.
Just because of that?
Why else would I cut it?
How would I know?
Don't tell me you think I cut it for you.
That's not what I said.
I mean, you still like girls with short hair, don't you?
When did I say that?
I wonder.
Just because you have a better memory than me.
So how is it? Does it look good on me?
It does.
Then the haircut was worth it. The girl living with you.
You mean Shizuku?
So her name is Shizuku?
That's right.
Does she have short hair too?
No, it's pretty long. Though I think she'd look great with short hair too.
I see.
Well, she seems to prefer long hair herself, and there's nothing wrong with that. I don't have the right to tell her what to do anyway.
Such a nice guy we have here. What about me then? Which of us do you think has better style?
Huh? You seem pretty equal to me. Not that I know enough to comment on it.
And is she good at cooking?
Oh, absolutely not. I do most of the cooking at home. I'm pretty good at cooking.
Really? What do you two do on the weekends?
Huh? Lays around at home, usually.
I thought you liked going out, Kenichi. Don't go on dates and stuff.
Shizuku's a home buddy.
So she makes you stay with her?
It's not like that.
I quite like going out, you know.
What is this conversation?
What, do you ask? It's just frustrating for me if it feels like I don't measure up to your current girlfriend. Nothing more. So how is she at work?
Oh, she's amazing. She's already a project leader despite her age.
I am too, you know.
Indeed. I guess you're amazing as well.
Yes, I am. And I'll make sure to impress you even more. Now it's time to go to the client's office.
Got it. After being praised, Shiorika really got into the zone and managed to talk the client into a huge deal in no time at all.
Welcome back, Anichi.
Oh, hi! You're early today.
I know.
Did you maybe make dinner for us?
Dream on, that's your job, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Also, I can't cook.
You say that like it's something to be proud of. I'll make something then.
Ooh, orecchiette pasta sounds good today.
As you wish. I'll fire it up right now.
Yay!
Orecchiette is a short pasta from Italy. Apparently, it's named for its shape, which resembles little ears. I imagine its chewy texture is probably similar to ears too. But that's just weird to think about. Shioriko asked a lot of questions about you today.
That ex-girlfriend of yours again?
Do you think she suspects something?
Or maybe she still has feelings for you. Why don't you just tell her? I live with this woman, but we're not totally going out.
I can't tell her that now. That looks so uncool.
Seriously, men are such troublesome creatures.
I have no choice. It's a matter of pride at this point. And it'll be a real chore explaining everything to her too. Shizuku's full name is Shizuku Sakamoto. I'm sure you've all realized by now that we have the same surname. Yes, she's my cousin. After being driven out of the company dormitories after I quit my job, she was the one who took me in.
You could stay as long as you like.
Thanks, but I couldn't possibly...
Don't worry about it. If you feel sorry for me, focus on getting yourself healthy first. Rest assured that I'll have you repay me 10 times over once you do.
I don't have much savings. My previous job didn't really pay overtime.
I'm not talking about money. There's lots of things to do around here, like cooking and cleaning. I'm so useless at those chores after all.
So until I was able to re-enter society as a fully functioning person, housework became my job.
This is delicious.
I think it's okay.
Where did you get the recipe for this?
I saw it on TV.
I admire you. Even if I see cooking shows on TV, I would never think of making it myself. With how capable you are, you'll make a good husband for some lucky girl out there someday.
You really are useless at house chores, huh?
Guilty, but I'm happy with the ability to earn lots of money. And as long as I have money, I can hire people to do most of that stuff for me anyway.
I guess no one's born perfect.
Anyway, getting back on topic.
What was it again?
Your ex-girlfriend. If you think it's uncool to admit that you live with your cousin, I could tell her for you. At least she'd know you're single.
But I mean, what's the point?
You have a chance of getting back with her, you know.
There's no way.
Why not?
I told you before, right? She's super popular. Why would she go out with someone like me?
Really? From everything I've heard from you, I feel like there's still a glimmer of hope.
You don't have much of a love life either, Shizuku.
True, but don't underestimate my mountain of knowledge from all the shoujo mangas I've read.
But you don't have any actual experience to back it up. As we chatted, the night passed as usual. But in the morning, I caught a cold. I had a high fever, a throbbing migraine, uncontrollable coughs, and a blocked nose. My limbs were both heavy and sore, and I alternated between feeling too hot and too cold. Of course, I took a day off work.
Are you alright?
I'll be fine, but you shouldn't be here. I don't want to pass my cold to you. Please, don't come into my room for the time being. And you'll have to have dinner outside today.
No worries. I'll buy you some food home too, okay?
When Shizuku Sakamoto left her home, she ran into a woman she had never seen before. In her hands, She was holding a plastic bag full to bursting with things like jelly and fresh fruits. With just one look, Shizuku worked out exactly who she was. There was the fact that her appearance matched my description perfectly, but also, Shizuku knew my type, and this woman was it. As she stood uneasily in front of the building, Shioriko noticed Shizuku staring at her too.
Good evening. Oh, good evening. Are you here to visit someone? You're Shiroki, aren't you? How do you... Kenichi's at home now. Here, you could borrow this. He chased me out of his room. If it's not too much trouble, can you take care of him for me? Huh? But... That's why you're here, right? I don't mind, but are you sure you want to let me? Of course! I think Kenichi prefers you over me anyway. Huh? Go for it. I'm rooting for you.
Leaving her behind, Shizuku walked towards the station. She planned to quickly eat dinner and come back, but maybe she would take her time relaxing at the public bathhouse first. After all, looks like I'm in good hands. Hopefully. The feeling of something cold on my forehead jolted me out of sleep. The fever wasn't completely gone, and it took a while for my brain to react.
Oh, you're awake?
Shizuku?
Well, sorry for not being Shizuku.
Shioriko? Why are you here?
Shizuku lent me her key and told me to take care of you. She's generous, just like you said.
Listen, Shioriko.
I won't leave.
Huh?
I'm not leaving no matter what you say.
The expression on her face, I'd seen it before. It was like the fog in my memories had lifted, and I could suddenly see everything clearly.
You haven't changed at all. You'll never ask me for help when you need it.
Oh, I remember now.
What?
I remember the reason we broke up. I was sick with a cold back then, too. I didn't go to school for several days. Naturally, Shioriko got worried and came to visit me, but I refused to let her in. Why did you come?
Do you really have to ask?
You might catch my cold. Go home right now. That day, Shioriko went home with her head hanging like a scolded child.
So you finally remember.
You said you forgot too.
How could I have? That was one of the saddest days of my life. I was so hurt that I felt like I had to break up with you despite still loving you.
Shioriko.
That's why I don't want to leave behind any more regrets. Even if you say you don't do it, I'll do it because I want to. Even if that means I end up catching your cold. If you really feel sorry about it, you could take care of me in return. Did I say something funny?
That was what Shizuku said too.
It's kind of annoying to be compared to another woman. Did you really chase your girlfriend away just because you're sick?
My girlfriend? Oh, so don't get angry at me.
Yeah?
But I never said we were dating. Shizuku's my cousin. I'm just staying with her for the time being. You were the one who got the wrong idea.
You're joking.
Not at all. Well, I guess it's my fault as well for not explaining sooner.
Well, why didn't you?
If you hadn't said all that stuff that made me think you had your pick of all the guys out there...
Just because of that?
Can you blame me?
So sensitive.
Stop.
Let me tell you one thing.
What?
It's true that I get asked out a lot, but I never said yes, because there's someone in my heart that I've loved ever since we were in high school.
You're actually pretty dumb, huh?
Shut up.
I'm getting tired from all this talking. Good night.
Okay,
Can you stay until I fall asleep?
no problem. Rest well and get better soon.
I'll do my best. Hey,
What is it?
thanks for staying with me. And then, as if trying to escape the conversation, I fell asleep right away. I think she said something back, but I don't remember it at all. At a later date, I asked Shioriko out to dinner as a thank you for taking care of me. Everyone at the office was surprised that the Shioriko who usually refused every guy who invited her out said yes to me immediately. I was probably the only one who knew for a fact she'd accept.
I'm going to drink all I want today.
Sure, don't hold back on my account. Once again, thank you for taking care of me when I was sick.
You're welcome.
I recovered well thanks to you.
This feels nice. Keep it coming.
Also, there's something I'd like to discuss with you.
I know.
Huh?
You're going to ask whether we should have fish or meat as a main dish, right? It's a real dilemma.
Actually, no.
Huh? You weren't having trouble deciding?
Why are you so shocked?
So what then?
Listen,
I'm listening.
I have a stable job and salary now,
Yeah?
and I think it's time I move out of Shizuku's apartment.
I see.
You still don't get it?
Get what?
Ah, seriously? What I mean is, I need to search for a new place to live now.
You want to take some time off? There shouldn't be an issue as long as you apply early.
That's not what I... I'm asking you to live with me. Shioriko's face turned bright red in an instant.
Huh?
What does your reaction mean? Is it a yes or a no? And then, after a lot of hemming and hawing on her part, and a lot of careful persuasion on mine,
I'd love to.
she finally gave me a beautiful smile and nodded.
Let's do it. Let's live together.